All right, Steph, I have a question for you. You actually didn't know the answer to this, but have you seen this movie before we watched it?
I have not. I've never seen any of the Halloweens.
Okay, this makes me happy because I love getting to hear your thoughts on something you've never seen, especially something at this caliber of Halloween. Like
I was very confused after a while because I looked stuff up afterwards and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Where do I even begin? All right. I guess overall thoughts.
I liked it. I was confused because I did have preconceived notions that Laurie and Michael Myers were siblings. But then I was like, 15 years later, there's no way Laurie could still be in high school. She'd be 30 or something like that because he attacks her when he's 6 and that's 15 years later. So he would be 20 something and Laurie was 16.
Laurie, no, that wasn't Laurie who got attacked.
I know, but that's what I was doing the math because I thought that they were siblings initially. And then once I saw that Laurie was in high school still, I was like, oh, that can't be. But then that's what got confusing when I looked it up afterwards because people were saying, are they siblings? In certain movies, they're siblings. Certain movies, they're not siblings. I was like, oh.
So
now I'm confused.
How do I even unpack this? All right. So it is a step. I kind of, because I want to talk about the first one, but I guess just some lore. There's 3 different timelines. 3.
Okay.
So it's established in the second one, Halloween 2, that Laurie is Michael's sister. So you don't know that in the first one, but she is in the first timeline that she is. So they are brother sister. When Halloween H2O hits, so let me back up. The first timeline, there's this whole cult thing. It's called Cult of the Thorn. I don't quite remember specifically. I don't know if he's possessed by something, but there's this whole cult plotline. Then there's this Halloween H2O that takes place. I think it was trying to capitalize maybe on the Scream era of things that completely ignores, I think, movies 3 through whenever H2O is. So that whole cult plot line is not a thing anymore. And then with the newest Halloween trilogy that came out, it is a direct sequel from the first one where she's not his sister anymore. So depending on what movies you watch, she is or isn't.
All right. Because that's part of the sister timeline then. This movie is considered part of it.
Well, this movie's part of all the timelines, technically. It just depends on which sequels you watch.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for this discussion because for all intents and purposes, if you only watch this one, you wouldn't know that. So let's just say she's not. You don't know that in this movie. It just seems like he's killing random people. So it's very confusing as we get further in the movies, but we're just talking about the first one today. So
okay,
we'll just keep it nice and easy.
So just treating this movie as a singular thing. I don't know. I guess I was confused about his motivations. I was like, is he the sex police? Does he just hate women? Because aside from the man he kills to steal the trademark uniform that he wears all the time, that just seemed like a convenience thing. But otherwise, he kind of seeks out women and only killed the one boyfriend just because, they were having sex. So.
Right. Yeah, that was going to be my question to you, what your thoughts were about the motivation. Because realistically, Michael doesn't really have one in this movie. He just kills to kill. And I know part of the theme of this movie was evil doesn't die. That doesn't really explain why these high schoolers he decides to pick on. So I was curious what you thought about his motivation or lack thereof.
It did seem sort of triggered by sex because of the sister being killed in the beginning. They go off and go upstairs. He sees the boyfriend leaving and she's still naked from the aftermath of it and attacks her. Annie is leaving to go and hook up with her boyfriend when he attacks her. And then Lindsay is attacked post as well. And so is the boyfriend. So it seems a little bit like Laurie is his focus, but also he has time to be like, these kids are dirty or something. This really triggers me for some reason.
Yeah. I read a quote that said, Halloween helped popularize the final girl trope, the killing of characters who are substance abusers or sexually promiscuous. I feel like we have Halloween to blame for that trope.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured it was the quintessential one for that theme, I guess, because of just how many times it happened. I guess I was trying to understand his fixation with Laurie just because of the similarity to his sister, maybe. She's not like the other girls. So
because what we learn later in movies that they try to retroactively make her his sister. But just on this movie alone, I think because her dad is selling the Myers house and he sees her when she drops off the key, I don't know if that triggered the fixation.
Don't forget to drop the key off at the Myers place.
I won't.
They're coming by to look at the house at 10:30. Be sure to leave it under the mat.
Promise. Just watch.
Honey, you said never to go up there.
But that's like the only thing that I could come up with to make it make sense as to why he's just like, I need her and her group of people, because he could just move along, really. If he's just killing to kill, he doesn't have to go out of his way to kill these specific people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, at first, aside from her, I thought, aside from this fixation, I thought he was just going to be kind of like killing anybody that crossed his path. But no, he's pretty set on her and whoever's connected to her. So kids pass him at one point and they run away from him. He could have killed them. The only thing that bothered me is he killed like 2 dogs in the process. Hated that. He ate one of them. I was like,
He's hungry.
He was hungry.
I hate it.
It also kind of made me go back and forth on his mentality of like how smart and with it he was, because he's been institutionalized since 6. So he got hungry and ate a dog, but he also has like the wherewithal to like scheme and like plot these killings and like set this elaborate theatrical reveal for Laurie at the end. I was like, oh, we're funny now.
Yeah. He also drives a car randomly, which I feel like he shouldn't know how to do that.
Right. I think the guy even mentions it. Well, he's doing well now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's interesting because, obviously, spoiler, at the end, you find out he survives. Like, he can't be killed. So he's not a normal man. So I don't know what allows him to do these things or what in him wants to do these things, like where he like strings up the bodies and puts the tombstone in the bed of his sister and all this weird stuff. So it's like, on one hand, it seems just focused on the killing, but to your point, the theatrics of it all, like,
yeah, that seems a little bit more sophisticated and well thought out. Like he was just waiting for the opportunity to see her again. Yeah, I'm just a little confused at times. I like the idea of the movie. I think it's interesting, especially they looked some stuff up too and found out that John Carpenter, the creator, visited a mental institution with his psychology class in college, I believe, and was really unsettled by a boy that he deemed was pure evil. So that's where the idea came from.
Yikes.
So, but he also said in another thing that he wants him to be a force of evil with no clear motivation to make him more terrifying. So it's kind of like a little column A, column B.
He doesn't have a motivation, but at the same time, he seems very interested in these particular people. So it just, if I'm being really critical, I love this movie. It just doesn't make a whole ton of sense because he could just move along. Like he could have killed so many people up to that night, kind of.
Right. Like if he was a true like spree killer, evil, doesn't matter, wants more bodies. Yeah, he could have spent a lot less time with this.
I feel like after Laurie kind of defeated him the first time, I'd be like, you know what? I'll let her live. It's fine. I'm just going to move on to the next person down the street.
Exhausting. So. I wanted to know some of your thoughts on it too. Like, do you love this? Do you watch this often? Or is this just kind of like a once and done?
So I love Halloween. Out of like the big 3, meaning like Freddy, Jason, and Michael Myers, Halloween is my favorite. I've seen all the movies. It's weird because I've seen Halloween 4 and 5 the most. They used to play them all the time on TV. And that was the one with Danielle Harris. I don't know if you know that actress, but that was the whole cult storyline. But I've seen this movie so many times. Fun fact, it was my parents' first date. They saw Halloween in theaters.
Oh, okay.
So they obviously really like it, and I saw it a ton. So I really like this movie.
Interesting.
Personally.
Yeah. No, I mean, I liked it. I feel like with how many times I've seen Michael Myers cosplayed on the internet twerking on TikTok.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's not as scary. But then I realized towards the end, I was like, oh, he doesn't die. So maybe I need to give him a little bit more credit.
Right. Yeah, I guess since we've never seen any Halloween movie, which is crazy.
Yeah, I didn't really have context. I just knew, Jamie Lee Curtis was attached and that was like his fixation.
Yeah, this is her first movie, by the way.
Yeah, I saw introducing. I was like, oh girl, hi.
This is how we got the lovely Jamie Lee Curtis. What are your thoughts of Michael Myers as a villain? Do you like him? Like him in the sense of, scary, good villain, interesting, that kind of a thing.
So with the villain and suspense rating, I was kind of like flipping back and forth because I was like, well, I've seen him twerk online and I've seen him do all these parodies and stuff like that. So, I mean, and I know that's not really him, but it kind of affected my image of him because that's how I was initially introduced.
Yeah.
So I kind of went back and forth between like, okay, he's taking a long time to get these people because a lot of the buildup is him just like standing in the bushes looking at them and somebody will catch a glimpse, but no one can all agree at the same time that they see him. And then he'll wait. He'll wait some more. And so like the suspense builds eventually. It just feels a little slow, I guess, in the middle when we're waiting for him to finally attack Annie, I believe was the first one he kills out of the friends. So it just takes a long time. I was like, oh, she should have seen him the first 70 times.
I know. He's like in broad daylight, drives past them. I think you would have noticed he was wearing a really creepy mask.
Right. I put at one point that they've seen him at least 3 times. Why don't we call the cops? Because that's, at least creepy. I don't know if it's like the Lovely Bones mentality of how they blamed everything in that movie on it being the 70s and kids just didn't go missing or they didn't really think about like pedophiles or murderers and stuff like that. I don't know if it's that mentality that they're trying to portray here. I don't know. I wasn't alive during that time. So.
Yeah, it's hard because on one hand, he's not really doing anything wrong except staring at them, which is weird. Yeah. And I mean, he is wearing a mask, but it is also Halloween.
Right.
So
right.
At what point are you like, wait a minute, this guy, like, do you call the cops or you just try to get away or just ignore him? Or like, what do you do in that situation? Because he's not really doing anything yet.
I think just because of Halloween, like the day that it's Halloween, it is giving him sort of a pass, I guess. But I feel like adults didn't dress up as much in the old days either.
Back in the olden days. 1978. Did they even have TV back then?
For instance, I was driving on yesterday when it was supposed to be trick or treat, and I saw an accident in the middle of like a busy street, and somebody coming out from their house towards the accident. But it startled me because the person had like stripes and stuff on their shirt. They were dressed as a pirate, and I was like, it's Halloween. Like, so,
what is going on here? What did you think about Laurie as our final girl?
I like her. A couple of times, I don't know, maybe it's the deeper voice for Jamie Lee Curtis. She kind of yells like without like the higher register. So she's like, no.
Tommy! Tommy, it's me! Tommy! Tommy, please! Tommy, hurry up!
But it's not like a eek kind of scream.
Okay.
So it's different. I think it's just she has a more unique voice, but I like her as a final girl. I think she's interesting. She's definitely sassy at times. I think she's hanging out with the wrong group of friends, apparently, because they don't seem to have the same interest, to each their own.
Yeah. I was gonna say, all my friends are bad influences, so look at you, Stephanie. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, right.
JK. Obviously, I was watching this for the podcast, so I was really trying to pay attention to things and be more critical than I normally would. I feel like she's a little boring.
Yeah. Sometimes I kind of just don't get the fixation, especially with all of the other ones seeming to be a sexual trigger. So, and Laurie's the one person that's not doing that. So,
yeah. I mean, she's kind of, as far as interesting goes, she's babysitting, so there's not much she can do in the situation.
Well, Annie did. Lindsay did.
Well, yeah, but they're bad, quote unquote.
Yeah, right.
But if we want to see Laurie as a more moral character, you know what I mean? I don't know if that plays into it. I mean, I know it plays into it, but
Yeah.
it just holds her back from being able to do much because she's watching Tommy and then Lindsay on top of it later.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she spends most of the movie just chilling in that house.
Right.
And then shit hits the fan. She's like the last one to get attacked.
Yeah. Her friends are taking all the liberties with these houses and just come on, Lindsay. It's like however late, like you're going to Tommy's house.
It's not even their house and they're having people come over. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would not do that.
I get the stereotype of like girls will typically have, not typically, mom, don't assume anything of me, but in movies, typically a babysitter will have a significant other over during babysitting. But this is going a little far. Like she wants to leave the child that she's in charge with somebody else, getting a babysitter for the babysitter as she goes to her boyfriend's house. And she's also just kind of like yelling at Lindsay, like, Lindsay, I need a towel.
Lindsay, come out here. Oh, Lindsay, get the phone. It's Paul. Lindsay.
I was like, Lindsay don't hear shit.
Lindsay was fixated on that TV. Oh my God.
Yeah. First scary movie, I guess. And then another friend who wasn't involved in the babysitting at all comes over and goes to town in the parents' bed, I guess.
Hey, I mean, you gotta take your opportunity, I guess, right?
Just a lot of it. And he hates that.
He hates it.
He hates it.
What do you mean he hates
strong
it?
feelings about it. Michael Myers has strong feelings about
Michael
you.
Myers. Yeah, he's not a fan.
Yeah.
The funniest part to me is when he puts on the sheet and his glasses.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro.
Why are you trying to be silly?
He's like, I would be a little goofy.
And I almost thought maybe this is a moment where he would kind of like take his chance to have his own turn with Lindsay, but then he just kills her. And I was like, oh, so you just wanted to have a little goofy moment there.
Just being a little silly. So the other character I wanted to ask you about was Dr. Loomis. What were your thoughts on this man? Because this is a very popular character in horror. So I was just curious what you thought of him, seeing him in this first movie.
He was justified in his needing to get him moved, needing to find him. I just felt bad that no one believed him. I don't know. I felt like he wasn't as big of a role compared to like Laurie and her friends. So I can't really say a ton. He does like scare the kids away from Michael Myers' house because they're thinking about going in or at least standing at the door.
Chicken. Go ahead, Lonnie. Go in.
Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
So I see him as I guess a good person, but not a ton of opinions on him, honestly.
He plays bigger roles in other movies to come, and I've seen this one a lot, but I've seen some of the sequels more than the first one. And going back to this, I'm like, wow, he actually didn't do a whole lot throughout the movie. He spends most of the time trying to find him.
Yeah.
I'm like, buddy, come on, man. At the end, he like saves the day, which was kind of a bummer because we couldn't let Laurie do that, but
Yeah. Honestly, I felt like that wasn't even really a good resolve. We didn't even see Laurie basically at the end. We just see that he came into the house, realized that Michael's gone, and we don't see if Laurie's okay and, you know, getting reunited with the kids. Like, did they call for help? Did the cops arrive? No, we're just like, he's gone. There's no more movie now.
okay, yeah, it ends very abruptly. I will say the sequel, again, not to talk about the sequels too much, it starts right where this ends.
Okay.
So then you find out the aftermath of this whole situation.
Okay.
So
well, good to know.
Technically,
at least it's not like 6 months later or whatever.
Yeah, no,
or next Halloween.
Yeah, you could actually watch like the first two in succession as like one big movie if you really wanted to.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess he did what he could, honestly. I wasn't sure what else he could be doing aside from trying to track him down with the police. Just only one police sheriff barely believed him.
Nothing's going on except kids playing pranks, trick-or-treating, parking, getting high. I have the feeling that you're way off on this.
You have the wrong feeling.
Yeah, there's not much he could have done. He was just kind of like stalking around in people's yards like, where he at.
That was one thing I pointed out when I was doing like the atmosphere rating. I was like, there wasn't really much to see. And we did go to an insane asylum, but they didn't even go inside it. Like, I guess the creepy thing is that's just everyone's outside. Like all the patients have somehow gotten loose, but only apparently Michael is violent. What did you think about the gravestone being specifically over Annie? Do you think that was just kind of like a trigger for Laurie, or just more theatrics?
I was going to say more theatrics. I honestly don't understand what the point of that was.
They did cut to Dr. Loomis and the police sheriff checking on Judith's gravestone, and it's just this tiny little grave. I was like, that looks a little too small. But
so tiny. I don't know. I never knew why, so I kind of just glossed over that. I'm like, oh yeah, he's just being silly again.
Yeah, but the gravestone is huge though too. So like, could he really sneak that in there?
I mean, he did. He found a way.
Yeah, he's very clever when he wants to be. And at one point I was like, is he a ghost? Because so many times he's been attacked and just keeps getting up again.
No.
I get knocked down. And
I get up again. Okay, let's see. Halloween. Why is the tombstone above Annie's head? Okay, here we go. Let's see what Reddit has to say.
Okay.
Why did Michael unearth his sister's gravestone and put it above Annie on the bed after he killed her? I never understood why he does this. Oh, okay. This is the first comment. Has the most upvotes. As he's demonstrated a few times, Michael's kind of a theatrical fellow. Okay, theatricality and deception are powerful allies. Comment said, John Carpenter took a long drag of his cigarette and said, fuck it, that will look cool. All right, so there's no reason behind it.
Yeah, I guess it was just confusing because I guess that would be what he would want to do to Laurie, but it is also for Laurie to see, so
Hi, Laurie, this is for you for no reason. Great.
Thanks. I got the intention.
I hate it. Thanks.
I guess I was just surprised in the end how strategic he was, because I really did think up until, the last quarter of it that he's just like this black hole of evil. So doesn't matter. Just killing people. I go back and forth. It's very hard to rate this movie.
I know. Yeah, I guess one other question for you. Do you think it holds up as a first-time view, or if this was released now, would it be like a dud of a film?
I think it's a little slow in the middle with all of the times where he's just there and not doing anything. But I do think it could hold up, maybe with like a little bit of just a snippy snip there. But yeah, otherwise, I think it's still good. I would want to see what happens. But when you told me there was a bunch of different timelines, that sounds very confusing to me. So that makes it feel like homework. So I'm not sure how far I'd want to go into the rabbit holes for all those kind of timelines.
Oh, it's just one of those things that's like, you can watch the movies straight to a certain point, and then they make another sequel. They're like, actually, just forget these movies. So it's not a big deal. It's just some things retcon things. So it just depends on, because you can watch like the first one that we just watched, and then watch the 3 new movies, and you're good to go. So, depending on what you want to get out of your Halloween experience, you could pick and choose.
Yeah. I just feel like it's a little bit more thought-provoking in the order you'd have to seek these movies out. Like someone has to sit you down, or you have to do a lot of research on your own to be like, how do I get to the right timeline?
Oh, nah. It's not that. It's not like Marvel confusing levels of... It's just, you can just sit there through them and watch them. This is a good example. So in the H2O timeline, Laurie actually dies, spoiler, in Halloween Resurrection.
I did see something about her having a daughter that he stalks after a while, but I don't remember which one it was.
There's a daughter, there's a niece, that gets a little confusing. But yeah, so like in some movies she died, and then in the new Halloween movie she's alive again, obviously, but that's because it retconned what happened then, and yada yada yada.
Does he predominantly kill women though? Is that just
no?
What he does?
He'll kill anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I think in this movie it's female heavy, but no, he'll kill anyone.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I wouldn't mind figuring out what else happens, but again, I was a little thrown off with the multiple timelines.
Okay. I highly recommend them. I like them all. Well, not all of them, but I like most of them. This is like my favorite of the 3 big guys. in my opinion. So I highly recommend them.
Yeah.
They get a little ridiculous. Like I said, there's a whole cult timeline. Like it's crazy, but they're good. I like them.
Yeah. I do like a killer that has some theatrics though. So that's definitely a plus for me. Sorry, one last thing. When Laurie runs from the house after she's kind of like locked the kids in a room and told them to call the police or just stay there until she comes back, she runs next door. The lights turn on, so they see her screaming at the door. Why does no one help her?
Oh! Hello, help me! Man, please help me! Please! Can't you hear me? Oh, God!
Could have been a prank or
I guess.
or as much as like you don't trust someone to be banging on your door screaming, especially maybe that time.
Definitely call the police.
Yeah, no, definitely call the police.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a little crazy that they just they're like, bye. Good luck. Don't die.
Oh, I guess I also heard that it was originally called the Babysitter Murders.
Oh, I didn't know
saw
that.
someone here. Yeah, just because of the fact that they were all babysitting at the time. But
That checks out.
and I was surprised that she unmasked him in the
Oh, for like a brief
finale
second.
there for a second. I was like, oh, the mask.
Put it back on. I don't need to see that.
I did see an interesting theory that somebody put online about how Judith and the boyfriend must have been making fun of Michael, and he kind of like hit his breaking point in the very beginning because they're holding his clown mask and like kind of joking around with it, and then they leave it right outside her bedroom, and that's like that was the breaking point maybe. And,
Oh.
yeah. Then
I mean, that's a big breaking point to be made fun. Like, okay, calm down.
Yeah.
We know that he's just evil.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not human.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't die, so something.
For our ratings, we will rate 4 aspects of the movie out of 3. We will total those up, and that's how we will get our overall scary rating. Stephanie, do you want to go through your ratings?
Sure. For plot, I had a 2. For suspense, I had a 2. For atmosphere, I had 0. For villain, I had 3. And for the extra special point, I obliged. I gave it 1.
All right.
How about you?
Very similar, a little different. For plot, I only gave it a 1. Suspense, I gave a 2. Atmosphere, I gave a 1. Villain, a 3 out of 3. And I did give it my extra point.
Okay.
I just think
Interesting.
for plot, the only reason I didn't give it a higher rating is at some point you're just like what's going on? He's just killing random people. There's not much to the plot to me.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So I'm like, eh. And
Especially in the
then,
middle where it's just like, okay, can we just get on with whatever he's going to do?
yeah. To me, I wish there was a little bit more explanation. So it affected my rating a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like they didn't want to answer any questions because that would just lose any mystique towards him. So that's why we're kind of just like, oh, we don't get to know anything.
Right.
Otherwise, you won't be scared of him.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, it's good to have the mystery, but a little bit of explanation would have just made me like it a little bit more and maybe made it a little scarier, but
Oh, well.
it just got the 1.
It was their first time.
Thank you for watching this video. If you could give it a like, we would really appreciate it. And of course, you could let us know any movies you'd like us to cover.
You can follow us on social media using 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.